Hello, hello, hello. This is Mike from Hebrew Travel, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite places in the world, and that is Ireland. All right, we'll pull up our handy dandy map here. Of course, we are located in the Northeast. So if you were to travel to Ireland, you can do straight shots, nonstop flights coming out of Boston, out of the New York City airports, and out of like Montreal. Once we're able to cross the border much more freely with Canada due to COVID restrictions, as soon as they start to really loosen up, you'll be able to shoot out of Montreal again too. So what you do is you just go directly across the pond. So it's great right here. We'll go directly right across the pond, and you're right here in Ireland. Pretty easy shot. There are two main airports that we use. We have Dublin, of course, over here on the East Coast, and then Shannon, which is just south of Galway, right over in this area. So you kind of get the East and West Coast, which works out really well because a lot of our clients like to experience different things, and you might be on the move. You might not stay in Dublin the whole time, or in Galway the whole time, or in Limerick. But you might want to, move around a little bit, which means you may shift your accommodations, like stay one place for 2 or 3 days and then stay in a different place so you can kind of see more of the country. It's kind of the way that Ireland works, and it's pretty fantastic. So yeah, here's a great picture of Ireland, Irish flag. It is, they are white, green, and orange. And of course, if you're watching this, hopefully today, it is St. Patrick's Day in the U.S. This will be put out on March 17th. And, St. Patrick does get celebrated quite a bit. It is a patron saint of Ireland. Does get celebrated in Ireland with big parades and music type events, specifically in Dublin. Generally, it's more of like a religious holiday, so they would go to church in the morning and then have a celebration in the afternoon. And then in America, we started really to up the celebration of that because we had so many Irish descendants, and so we really celebrate it, which means Ireland really celebrates it, but it's also St. Patrick's Day is celebrated around the world. So it's pretty cool, pretty unique, and they're all celebrating the Irish history and culture and having some fun and doing that. So it's pretty neat. And so let's just jump right into. We're going to talk primarily about there are so many reasons to visit Ireland, but we're going to talk primarily about four that a lot of our clients choose, and primary reasons some of our agents have gone, and some of the reasons why I would go back to Ireland and want to celebrate and visit in Ireland. And so let's check this out. Our first reason to visit Ireland, or one of our four. So one of our four reasons, but so our fourth reason. Let's just say the landscape and culture. And so when you think of that, this is what I think of. I think of the lush green landscape, and then you have like cliff walls. It's beautiful right out in the ocean or bays, primarily saltwater. And it's a very interesting landscape. And so you have that. And of course, the culture is also there too, because as you were hearing, Irish music, you think of that. And you heard that in the background when we were just playing that for a little bit, so there's a whole bunch going on. And so that makes it pretty interesting. And so our next reason is the adult beverages. So of course, if you think about it, Ireland is pretty well known for its alcoholic beverages in the event of stout. So you have like a Guinness, a deep, dark, heavier, thicker beer. Yeah, and then they have a lot of that thicker, heavier stuff that we don't really have as much of in the U.S. They definitely have that in Ireland, but then you also have your Irish whiskey, like a Jameson type thing. You have your Irish Baileys kind of idea. I mean, so they have a whole bunch of different options for you to do, and of course you can always, they're famous for dropping their whiskey into a stout. So a shot glass of a whiskey and drop that right into the stout, and then you drink the whole thing. So that's of course a lot of things to do, and they will be celebrating on St. Patrick's Day. So a great time to go and see Ireland, but also any time of the year. Usually the best seasons are where majority of people are traveling are your late spring, so your April, May, June, and then your fall time, August, September, October, a little bit in November. Those are the prime times to go visit. So we had our landscape and culture. We talked a little bit about our adult beverages. And so our number 3 on this list, and it's probably, a lot of people don't really think of it this way, but this is probably one of the best reasons to visit Ireland. It's very unique to Ireland, and that is castles and B&Bs. So as I said earlier, you can travel around Ireland, and you don't necessarily go and you stay in one place for the whole time you're there, the whole week or 2 weeks, whatever it ends up being. You generally will go and you'll stay in Dublin for 1 or 2 nights. You'll stay in Galway for 1 or 2 nights, and then you'll generally either go down to the south along the coast and stay in a couple places down there, or you'll go up to the north and stay in a couple places up there. And why it's really unique is because of stuff like this. This is the Ashford Castle, and you can stay in this castle. They have numerous castles that you're able to stay in. They're absolutely beautiful, really unique, really cool, but you actually get to stay in the castle. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you can do that in other places around the world, but Ireland's pretty famous for it. But then on the flip side is instead of going and staying in like a hotel, which you might stay in more if you're in Dublin or in Galway, like in the bigger cities, you might stay in something like that. But if you travel in the south portion of the country, or if you travel in the northern portion of the country, so let me bring up this map real quick. So if you were traveling, down in this area, down around the coast, down on the bottom, or let's say you went and you took a trip and you were going up around the north, generally that's what a lot of people do is they'll start on one side and they'll go to the other and kind of map around, or they'll go from down around the south and kind of map around. But what's really cool is you can stay, and what they're pretty famous for are B&Bs. So you can stay in B&Bs, and so you have that really opportunity to really get the culture, understand the people, and you're staying in those things, and they're wonderful. They're, they're built to do this type of thing. So their B&Bs are much different than you'd see in the U.S. kind of idea. But that's kind of one of the main reasons why a lot of people like to go to Ireland. It really does give you that home feel, because you're staying in a B&B. So another reason to visit, as we've gone over, we had landscape and culture, we've had adult beverages, we've had castles and B&Bs, so fantastic things. And then our other big reason a lot of our clients will go, and that is for golfing. So this is the 18th green at Old Head Golf Club in Kinsale. So it's kind of on the bottom, pretty much on the very southern edge. Well, not the very southern edge, but pretty close to the southern edge of Ireland. And, this is kind of what their golf courses are. Built kind of on the oceans with that undulating landscape. You have cliffs. You have ocean water, and then you're going to have some pretty good wind. And then very interesting how, their grass is a little bit different. It could be thicker. There's just so many really cool things to do, and Ireland has so many golf courses. So a lot of our clients will run over or go over to Ireland and specifically just to go golfing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times while they're there. So it's a fantastic place to go do that at, and have some fun. If you want to do that, you can, of course, do that in many different ways. So yeah, so today we talked all about Ireland. And so, if you are interested in visiting Ireland, we can set up packages, a whole different ways. A lot of different things you can do in Ireland. Of course, I kind of went over just touching on very top things, but there's also like visiting like the Waterford Crystal areas or kissing on the Blarney Stone. There's so many really cool, neat things to do. Their cities are pretty fantastic to go to. So whole bunch of reasons to visit Ireland. So if you have any questions, or if you want to, or if you've been to Ireland, please comment on this video. And of course, if you want to take a trip, please reach out to us here at Heber Travel. I'm primarily our resident Ireland expert. And of course, we're just kind of going through this way too quick, but I definitely could get in depth and really have a great discussion talking about Ireland. It's a place I love to visit. Today we are filming, and this should be premiering. It is St. Patrick's Day. Kiss me, I'm Irish. I got my socks on, my Irish socks on, and my Irish underwear. So TMI, I know. But yes, if you want to visit us here at Heber Travel, please reach out to us on our website or give us a call, and we can help you with any of your travel needs anywhere around the world. And until next time is going to be fun too. But until next time, be safe, have fun, use a travel advisor, and just get out there and have an adventure. Mike out.